Let's talk about healthy nutrition for martial artists, for fighters. So, healthy nutrition and nutrition in general is a very important topic and one that is very interesting to me because there are two different approaches to it, and let's discuss both of them and the advantages and disadvantages of each of the two approaches. So, the first approach is incredibly difficult and complex. Okay, nutrition is a very complex matter because there are so many different nutrients that need to be um, precisely balanced. Like there's many different vitamins. Basically, every letter from A to C has a vitamin, and some like vitamin B has many different vitamin B3, 6, 12. It's so complicated, and you need quite exact amounts of each nutrient to fulfill your nutritional needs. And to make it even more confusing, many of them have a maximum amount that you may take in. And if you eat more of that specific nutrient, of that specific vitamin, it might even be harmful to your health. That is especially true for fat soluble vitamins. The other ones you will essentially just pee out. And then there's the minerals, which it's basically the same. Okay, so you need a minimum amount to function properly, but if you eat way too much, and sometimes it's quite a narrow range, so it's not like you can eat 10 times or 100 times of the amount you need. Sometimes it's like you need that amount, and twice that amount is already way too much. So it is incredibly precise. And the same is true for the macronutrients, where you need to balance protein, carbohydrates, and fatty acid intake, as well as, of course, the caloric balance. So, the caloric balance is again incredibly sensible. So if you need, maybe let's just say like 2000 calories a day, which might be the caloric intake of a fairly small woman, or maybe 3 or 4000 calories if you're kind of a bigger man and very physical. um, so if you eat just 100 calories per day too much or too little, that accounts for 36,500 calories over a year. Okay, and just 100 calories is not that much. That's probably like 30 grams of bread. 30 grams of bread, half an apple, half a banana, 20 grams of chocolate, or like one deciliter of a sugary drink. So it's really a tiny amount. It's like 5% of what you eat. So you're eating 20 times that amount per day, or 30 times that amount per day. But if you eat 100 calories too much each day, if you're 100 calories off over a year, that would amount to 5 kilograms of body fat, because 1 kilogram of body fat is like 7,000 calories. 1 gram of fat is 9,000 calories. Body fat has a bit of water in it as well. So it's crazy. So it needs to be balanced exactly. So if you follow that approach, you need to weigh everything that you eat down to the like precise as possible. A couple grams off, 10, 15 grams off over a day will totally and completely mess up your diet. And so you need to balance like that amount of food and those supplements and all that stuff to have it. Okay, that's one approach. Usually that is done by professional bodybuilders who need that extremely specific nutrition, or with people who are incredibly far off with how they feel nutrition. And so the other approach is incredibly easy. We are animals, okay? So we are designed, or we evolved to fulfill our physical needs fairly good, okay? So we are hungry when we lack nutrition, we get thirsty when we lack water, and stuff like that, okay? So it's very easy. And usually the advice that I give people, that is actually my best diet advice ever, is eat the way that your mom would tell you to eat, or that your grandma would tell you to eat. That is usually, in many cases, the best advice. Okay, some people No judgment here. Some people have moms that would just like cook them fast food and like microwave the food because they were very busy and stuff. No judgment. But many of us, including me, had a mother who was a stay-at-home mom, and she was cooking like fresh food on the table every day, and that's kind of the norm. That's how our mothers feed us, and that is the essential business of being a mother throughout the millennia. Because since the beginning of time, mothers have been in the business of raising strong and survivable kids. So kids that survive, that are strong, that can look on their own, that are healthy, big and smart and stuff. And a key component of that is finding the correct nutrients for the kids. And so the moms who didn't do a good job in caveman times, their kids just didn't survive or had a very bad chance of surviving and reproducing. So your mom and my mom and all other moms are in a long line of very successful mothers who did a very good nutrient. And so what I'm gonna tell you how to eat correctly as a fighter is just simple knowledge, okay? So educate yourself a bit on what you're eating. Be aware of it, okay? When you're buying food, groceries, as the Americans would say, check every single item, okay? Read on the back what is in that product. And only if you agree with what is in it and you would like to put that thing in your body, only then buy it and eat it. Check out the nutrients, okay? There's a little square on it, a little field where it says it has that amount of protein per 100 grams, that amount of carbs, that amount of fat. Only if you agree with it, buy it and eat it, okay? And then if you eat, I don't, many times I don't know how to, how to explain that in videos because it seems so obvious to me, and there's really not that much more to it, okay? Just eat healthy, like don't eat too much sweets, don't consume too much alcohol or other drugs, like best would be nothing at all. you know Eat your breakfast in a healthy way, okay? It's not healthy if you're eating cornflakes. I hope it's the correct word, cornflakes, cereals, and it has like 30% sugar. That's a sweet treat, okay? Eat it maybe on a weekend sometime, but otherwise eat good food, eat your veggies. If you are an omnivore like I, then eat your meat in a sensible and conscious manner. Sit down to eat. I cannot stress that enough. Okay, sit down, look at your meat, at your food, smell it, feel it. Not necessarily with the hand, but like take it up, okay? The smell, the taste, really feel it entering your body and landing in your stomach, and then eat until you are not hungry anymore. Do not eat until you are full. Eat until you are not hungry anymore. One of the best diet advice that I ever got was a point that my father stressed. Are you hungry? Or are you just lusting for more? Is it just for the taste? Would you just like to eat more? But are you still hungry actually? If not, stop eating. Stop eating. Have a drink. Drink some water. Okay? So it really is that easy, and usually it is not as sensible. And if you are in a position where you would like to lose weight or would like to lose body fat, remember the 100 calories. You're probably not that far off, okay? And like when you are off your course out in the ocean, okay? And you're like 1,000 miles from where you should be. Do not try to head back here. Just aim for your goal again, okay? The goal is 10,000 miles over there. So you probably just need to steer a tiny bit into another direction to still get to your destination. Okay, so just be like 100 to 300 calories per day in a deficit and you will reach your goal. Or if you would like to build muscle, just eat a bit more protein. It's not that much, just eat a bit more protein, eat your veggies, eat your fruit, eat healthy, eat conscious. It needs to be tasty as well, and it needs to be good, and it needs to get the hunger away, and then it will be good nutrition for you. So I really hope that video helped you, and I could make some more in-depth videos about nutrition and about specific topics. If you like, just drop me a comment. See you next time.